Okay, so it's Felicity from Get Your Rock Out here with a couple of the awesome guys from Also Eden. How are you doing today?
We're doing good.
Fantastic.
Yeah, great.
Doing excellent.
Fantastic.
It's been a good day.
Well, actually, he's not doing good.
Are you not?
Well,
in fairness.
yeah, okay. Yeah, I woke up this morning and it's kind of almost didn't wake up this morning. I almost went back to bed. But
He had vertigo. He actually lay on the back seat of the car all the way up.
it's the anticipation of doing the gig. It was just too much for me. No, but I'm kind of slowly, as you can see, I'm slowly
Good for you,
recovering.
good for you. And you guys are just off stage as well. So,
Yeah, not long.
About half an hour.
yeah. How was it?
Cold.
Yeah.
Mind you, actually, I mean, the last gig we did was at the Globe in Cardiff last Friday.
Yeah.
And that was actually almost as cold, in fact.
Wow.
In fact, I wore less on stage today than I did last Friday. So it's probably actually warm down there. So the stage that we played on is the Earth stage, and it is in the bowels of the Earth. In fact, people needed GPSs to find them. But enough of them did, so it's
Good.
It was,
Good.
and playing amongst diggers and JCBs and things like that. It's quite interesting.
It's an awesome place to have.
Isn't it just? It's apparently
really
it's supposed to
brilliant.
fire upstairs.
Yeah.
Coolest thing on earth. It's
So it's very difficult trying to play when you got
really that
cold
cold.
hands.
Yeah.
And when you got vertigo.
Yeah, I expect to see him fall over the monitors at any moment.
Well, congratulations on that.
Well, thank you very much. I feel much better now.
Crowd-wise, were you happy with the turnout? With the kind of crowd
Couldn't see
reaction?
the back of it, so there must have been quite a few people down there. So
Yeah, I think there was as many people as you could get in there. It's kind of an unusual kind of a little walkway and then stop it.
Stop hitting the microphone.
A walkway with kind of an area at the end of it. So yeah, I think there was as many people as you would expect, and they were quite receptive.
They were very receptive, actually.
They were clapping and cheering and everything.
So that's all right. They even clapped along with the track that I asked them to clap along with. So
Right, well, in that
can't say
case,
fair
you know
enough.
you've done a good job.
Well, I mean, we always say in the not really progressive rock genre, of which most of the bands are, then well, it depends what you find. Anyway, we're not going to get into
But
that.
So, you define yourself as true prog rock.
Very long. No, we're not going there. That's a very, very long conversation that we're not having. But in the not quite progressive rock genre, quite often, I mean, okay, yeah, it's really nice. The last few gigs we've done, we've played to a couple of hundred people. Most of the gigs we've done recently. That's probably actually one of the smaller crowds that we've played to in the last 6-9 months. Not that it was a particularly small crowd, but what is really nice is that 2 years ago we were doing gigs where every gig we did we could name most of the audience. And that's not a good thing, which is why we want to do festivals.
And most of the audience was the support band.
I've been to a lot of those kind of gigs myself.
Whereas it's getting, it's developing really quite nicely. I think we've got a fair bit of momentum.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, there's a lot of interest there. And I think genuinely people are starting to enjoy what we do.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And actually make the effort to come and see us.
Brilliant.
Which is what it's all about.
And you've had a bit of a lineup shake-up as well.
Well, we are the sugar babes of the prog group. You realise that?
You really just compared yourself to the sugar babes.
Well,
Of all the bands that you
next.
could
He doesn't know it
Exactly.
yet.
The Sugar Babes, there's no original members left, but there's still somebody we referred to as Trigger's Groom. Have you ever seen that on Only Fools and Horses? You know,
All right, the same group for 20 years.
You've got a new head, and the head is still Trigger's Groom. It's a bit like that, but I think
Ship of Theseus.
that's another one. Yeah, Ship of Theseus. But you know, we've been through lots of changes, but none of them have been kind of showstoppers. You know, we've always kind of thought these things happen for a reason. Either the person who's left isn't particularly happy with what we're doing, or they can't commit to it. So we find somebody who's happier and more committed. So yeah, that's just the way, you know.
I think in the area of music, I think in the modern day, with smaller bands that haven't been going for 25 years with established audiences, etc. I mean, Ian, whose last gig it was this evening, keyboard player, founder member, composed a lot of the early material. helped compose a lot of the later material. He's been in the band 8 years. That's a long time for a kind of semi-pro, which is what we consider it, kind of outfit. That's a long time to be in one band. And you do want to move on, you do want to do different things, and this band has done different things all the way through its life. And that means that the band itself is going to outgrow some of its members. So that happens, and when you get someone else in, and you see where it goes. So it's slightly inconvenient. Slightly inconvenient when people leave when you're in the middle of recording an album. But hey ho, that's the things life throws you sometimes.
Very true. And recording-wise, are there any plans afoot to record any new? Oh, I like that nod.
Well, we are halfway through recording now. We played probably half of the set that we played this evening. Three tracks out of 7 that we played this evening from the new album.
Wow.
We've played another of them live quite a lot, and there's another one that we released as a free download at Christmas. So of the 8 tracks on the album that we started kind of recording last year, we've actually played 4 of them live and released another one that's kind of download single kind.
So we're not kind of thinking, right, we have to write an album, we need material. We've got the material, it's just finding the right, I guess, person to work with in the studio. We're working with somebody at the moment
who's a TV music producer. He produces film for TV and music. He's a friend of Simon's, and but he's a freelancer, so we're kind of. We can't take all of his time. So we've been hoping to get the album out in May. It may be a couple months later. But as I say, we're a long way down the road to getting it done. It's just finishing off, and you don't want to put something out in the shop.
No, very true.
So, these things always happen. So it's just a question of getting it finished, isn't it?
Yeah, and there certainly isn't a drought on our part with the material.
No, I think we'll probably produce the next one quite quickly.
Yeah, we're always kind of, particularly myself and Rich, quite creative in that respect. And I'm already writing the next album after this one.
Si's kind of a musical ideas factory. I'm a lyrical ideas factory and a concepts factory, and it's quite appropriate in this place. And I tend to do a lot of the kind of, how about you take that bit and put it there, or right, okay, well, what it ought to do here is this, or can it do something like this, or have you got something that, hang on, what was that bit that we did a couple of months ago? Right, that'd be brilliant here. Kind of thing, and actually organising and sorting things out. So it's good fun, and we do duo stuff and acoustic stuff occasionally as well. So we'll probably do a bit more of that in the future as well too. So
and we've all got, and myself and Rich and the other guys as well, they've got other projects and other things that we work on as well. So
keeping busy.
Fantastic. And of course, you personally haven't exactly had the easiest run of it over the past kind of few years. But are you feeling like now as though you're completely, you're happy with where you are, you're settled into the whole touring thing?
Well, for those who don't know, I had an extremely serious motorbike accident. When I was in a coma for 5 weeks, and I wasn't in a coma for 5 weeks because I hit my head. I was in a coma for 5 weeks for all the other things, and I'm not going to list them because it's out there on the internet and people can go and find out. But it's a long process. Life for me is busy. So I did 10 or 12 gigs actually with a metal frame screwed into the leg.
And that is dedication.
Sitting on the stool for half of the gig.
And it is clearly quite painful as well.
Well, in those days, that was the only thing I could do in those days, and then that was it. I couldn't really do anything else. Whereas now it's a lot easier. I feel I've been stood up a lot today watching other bands, so it's not the sort of, when you have to regrow part of your leg, it's not really the sort of thing that's ever going to go away. But it's a lot easier than it was. And music was...
There we go.
Fair enough. Music was a really important part of my recuperation. If I hadn't had the band, it would have made things a lot more difficult. I think it was a focus point. It was something, one of the things I could focus on. Getting to the point where I could go on stage, which was only 9 months after the accident, with, as I say, three-ring circus bolted into my leg. That was a really good focus point to say, right, I'm going to do this. And you know, I owe a debt of gratitude to my bandmates for waiting for me, because I'd only been in the band for 6 months when I had the accident, so it's very frustrating for them as well. But we kicked on, and it's been good ever since.
And it's created no shortage of material as well. That's the right.
Well, that is, of course. Yeah.
Which is good. So I thank Rich for having the accident. He can now sing lots of words on the music.
Well, you have to make the best.
Make the best of it. Yeah,
exactly.
Definitely.
So what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Exactly.
Very true. Very true.
Very close.
Yeah.
Definitely. And the next kind of 6 to 12 months, you know, you're going to be recording new stuff. What else can we expect to see from you?
More gigs.
Brilliant.
Yeah, more gigs. Probably, hopefully, maybe even by this time next year, well, we'll be recording.
Brilliant.
Put it that way. Kicking on, trying to play to more people who haven't seen us before. And getting out, gigging. We enjoy it. We don't want to just be recording. We enjoy it. We get a kick out of being live on stage, and people get a kick out of watching us.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I certainly think there are, you know, the bands around at the moment, a lot of them don't actually play live an awful lot. But we're not one of those type of bands, and that's probably why maybe, you know, a lot of studio stuff hasn't come to fruition, because we've been rehearsing live material, gigging, you know. So I think we're a pretty good live band now.
We seem to. We're not too precious about it. We have fun.
Yeah.
We go up there. I mean, the last, what's that? 4 gigs out of the last 5, we've gone on with a line check.
Yeah.
Whereas there are a number of bands. That's not true for most bands.
Yes. Yeah.
And we're happy to do that because we have the confidence that we have the team. We're at home with our team, and we know we'll give a good show. So
yeah,
we got a lot of energy.
And I think you can see it I can certainly see it in bands who, you know, we actually perform. We don't just go on and play our respective instruments. You know, we're very together, and we kind of put a performance on, you know. And a lot of bands just go on and actually just, you know, do their thing, and then they'll shuffle on, do their thing, shuffle back off, you know. But we're kind of not like that. I think we've got quite a good connection.
Well, I think this is why we consider ourselves a rock band. Yeah, a rock band.
We're getting into it.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's what it says on our, you know, we consider ourselves a rock band with progressive tendencies, as it says on our MySpace or something, I don't know, our Twitter or something like that. But that's what we consider ourselves. We're not, it's about the music, but it's about performance and having a connection with the audience, and people going away saying, wow, that was a really good show.
Yeah, and I think for us, progressive, and get back onto the progressive argument. But certainly for us, to me, when somebody says, "Oh yeah, you're progressive," so there's lots of widdly guitar solos and mellotrons, and big sound. Yeah, we've got a little bit of that. But for me, progressive is more about actually saying, right, okay, what haven't we done before?
Yes.
Where are we going to take it this time?
Yeah.
And not saying, right, let's bring out another Think of the Children or another Kind of You to Ask or whatever, and actually just taking it somewhere else, thinking, you know, if people like it, they like it. If people don't, they don't. That's just weird. But that's what being progressive is for me.
Yeah, music
taking risks.
What you want.
Yeah.
and hopefully people like it. It's not about trying to please the people at the front.
Yeah, and I think it's about challenging yourself. It's about challenging yourselves as musicians, and that's gonna challenge the listening public. And a lot of them will say, "I really can't. I just don't get this at all." But as long as we're doing different things and listening to things that we've recorded and playing and thinking, well, we've never actually done anything like this before, then that's what it's all about. And certainly, I can think of at least one of the, probably two of the new tracks that we played tonight, which is nothing like we've done before. And people aren't saying, "Oh, but that's not Sweden. That's rubbish. What are you doing?" They're thinking, "Well, I really like that."
They're actually the two tracks that people have most positively commented on the last 3 gigs.
Brilliant.
Which is
an amazing recommend. Yeah.
That's what it's all about. So.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
They're all friends of ours, obviously.
I can name all of them.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
But apart from that,
So we've had a good time.
I'm really glad to hear it. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat today. It's been an absolute pleasure. I really hope you manage to catch some bands at some point today now. So yeah, enjoy that. And we'll hopefully catch you at something very soon. It is indeed Hawkwinds, so it's going to be a good one.
I remember seeing Hawkwinds 30 years ago.
Well, I haven't seen. The last time I saw Hawkwinds was at the Trawergi Tree Fair in 1989, which, if you go and look it up on the internet, is somewhat chaos.
Well, in that case, enjoy them in a more refined environment. And thank you so much. We'll see you very soon, I hope.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thanks.